Hello. Welcome back to the channel. All right, calm down. My deck is just exploding with the excitement of everyone being here. I can't wait to see you. I can't wait till people come on here. Let me pick up my cards. Okay, so my intention for tonight is to talk about, I just recorded a couple of videos too, so when I'm in the flow of it, I just want to come on and tell you guys all about it and read cards for you and pull according to the messages that have been coming in for me. And I know a lot of what the videos that I just posted are going to, the energies in them are going to come out in this also. But I wish I haven't even uploaded them yet, is what I'm saying. So I wish I could refer you guys to that. But for right now, I just want to talk about work and love and the things that are holding us back. Hi, Lynette. Hi, Paisley. I'm so happy to see my girls. The first two ones on here are my jam and my OGs. I love you. I love you both. I'm just thinking that the things that I've been talking about are insecurities. There's a lot of insecurities that have come up in the last couple of days, and the energy of the middle school years, that age when we're the most impressionable and when we're trying to figure out who we are and we're basing our own identity off of our friend's identity and we're comparing ourselves to other people. And Mercury retrograde is starting to bring those things up for us to examine, because we've put out a collective energy of wanting to be of service and wanting to really be ourselves, and sick of complying and being what everybody else says that we're supposed to be in order to fit in right now, and being attacked and shamed unless we think a certain way, and this separation and this side versus this side and blah, blah, blah. It's stirring up the energy of this time period in our life where in middle school or the puberty age, when we're changing and the imprint of our identity was coming from other people and the way that they were raised or their belief systems or whatever it is. And we're really trying to peel away those layers. And one of the things that holds us back from really working in a way that we find fulfilling, or having the relationship that we find fulfilling, or balancing out the relationships that we already have, and coming up against this wall because of these energies that were imprinted on us, and these insecurities that we have about who we really are, because the energies of who we really are make us stand out, and standing out in middle school or around that age was not always the best thing. We always would be compared or compare ourselves to other people. And in the job world right now, too, you are always compared to other people. Your performance is compared to other people's performance, and your finances and your pay is based off of your performance versus other people's performance and stuff like that. And it's come to a point where people are just fed up with not being able to be themselves and just be free to express themselves in the way that they want to express themselves. Okay. So that's the energy that I've been reading coming into this. So I want to be able to just dig into that a little bit further. For some people, it's work. For some people, it's love and relationships and things like that. For some people, it's both. For some people, it's the same thing. Some of you, you're working with your person, or there is someone that you're working with that you have a kind of tumultuous relationship with. Maybe not a love relationship, but a coworker relationship. So if you guys have any questions about that, let me know and I'll pull some cards on that. I fucking love you too, Paisley. And Lynette. And Samara Soul Scribe. Aloha from Hawaii. Thank you for being here, Shonda. And I'm glad that you're on here too, because I have a collaborative reading that I did with Samara Soul Scribe that is going to be posted for the full moon coming up on Monday. And I was just creating that setting on the video. So that'll be out on Monday. If anybody wants to be a moderator too, just let me know. Lynette, I think you're already set up as a moderator, so and Paisley too. If you guys don't feel like doing it, that's fine. I'll grab somebody else too. But all right. So the first card that came out, and I'm using this Life Purpose Oracle deck. Justice. Your career brings fairness and protection to others who need your help. And this is right along the lines with, I just did a recorded private reading for somebody that ordered it. And it's almost like, it's the same energy as what was in hers too. It's almost like karmic justice. It brings a kind of karmic justice. So as an example, if you're a middle school teacher right now, and we're talking about this middle school energy, you are in the place that you are at right now in your job, whatever it is that you do, in order to either relive the energies of that time period or in order to create some kind of karmic balancing. So you're meant to recreate the story and help the people that you work with or the environment that you work in to not reflect the way that it did when you were that age, to stand out and to be the one that people look to because you stand out, not to shame you or to put you down or to pick on you and bully you like it happened for so many of us during that age in order to comply with. You are where you are right now in order to stand out. You were born to stand out, and the energy of that knowing in you and that authentic you is what brings fairness and protection to other people who are thinking the same things that you're thinking. And as soon as you say them, they feel safe in the fact that they are seen too. And they're accepted because someone else believes the same thing that they believe. So as soon as you say it, you light the torch, you lead the way, and they're like, oh, thank God, I'm so glad that you said that, because I was so scared to say it because I was afraid everybody was going to attack me. But now that there's somebody else that thinks that too, I'm accepted and I have somebody on my side and somebody on my team, and we team up together and we try to bring some kind of balance to this situation. It's very imbalanced by those that are not wanting to stand out, not wanting to exert themselves, or who think a certain way. And you guys know what I'm talking about. Your career brings fairness. So whether it's a career or it's just a part-time job that you have, or whatever situation you're in that you spend the majority of your time doing, you're exactly where you need to be. And there's something that's opening up right now. There's a lot of like crown chakra energies that are opening up for you right now in order to assist you and to light the way for you, to help clear through the insecurities, the things that are holding you back. Excuse me, solar plexus clearing. From shining your light, from standing out. Okay? There's energies from that time period in your life that are coming back for you to look at again, to shift the story, and to understand that they were superpowers. Those differences that were picked on or you compared yourself to other people, those are superpowers now, okay? You lean into those now because that's exactly what's needed right now, okay? All right, Lori said, when I met my DM, I was a junior in high school. Okay, so it's that time period. And a lot of this has to do with divine feminine, divine masculine, and twin flame energy right now too. Okay, so for some of you, it's about love. So let me pull some cards about like relationship energy too. And this is all relationship energy because it's about the way that we relate to ourselves, we see ourselves, and the way that we relate to other people. So much of the way that we used to relate to other people was based off of validation and the need for approval. So we would connect with other people and we would act a certain way around them in order to be accepted by them. And sometimes it went against the grain and it went against who we really were. And now it's time to start to balance that out because we are needed, because who we are is so needed in this world right now. All right. My cards have been jumping all over the place too. The world, yes. Okay, so for some of you too, I feel like this this applies to your connection, your divine connection. This is the end of a karmic cycle. This is the end of a karmic cycle. Some of you adapt who you are out of fear of judgment from your divine masculine or your divine feminine. And you hold yourself back because of the way that they see you. So this is this energy that I'm talking about, this insecurity that's coming up. For a lot of you, it's connected to judgment, not just with your partner, with your divine connection. It's how anybody else sees you. You hold yourself back because of the worry of of not being what you think they want you to be. For some of you, you've been working really hard to be what you think your person wants you to be. Or they have been working really hard, 11/11 on my recording right now. They've been working really hard to be what they think you want, because sometimes you project that insecurity as judgment. And it's time for us to take responsibility for the fact that we maybe judge other people sometimes too, because it makes us feel safe. It's this is an important karmic cycle, and we're coming up on the full moon. So I'm really seeing that in this orb that's down here. We're coming up on the full moon on Monday, so it's a really great time. The energy of that is starting to build, and the things that are needing to be released in the full moon are starting to be stirred up. So let's really, really focus on that and put that energy, put the release of that energy on our divine connections in helping. That's something that we can do for our connections to facilitate more togetherness and oneness. We do that, and they do that because of an insecurity. Because of insecurity, it's really all comes down to being insecure in ourselves and not trusting who we are, and not trusting that that ultimately, at the end of the day, that's all you want your partner to be, is them. That's one of the biggest problems between the two of you guys, is that they hold themselves back. They hold themselves back, or you hold yourself back from being fully you, because you're afraid of rejection. You're afraid of them rejecting you because of a point of view that you may have, or an opinion, or whatever it is. There's a fear of losing them. There's a fear of rejection. But actually, it's that holding back that creates the actual rejection. All they want is you, fully, authentically you. That's what they can feel anyway. And that's what you can feel in them. Anytime they're not, they're holding back, they're protected, they've got some kind of armor around their heart, and they protect themselves from being them, because who they are is very deep and very connected and very emotional. Especially the divine masculines have such a hard time. And ladies, this is applying to you, because a lot of you, I mean, we all have both polarities in us, but a lot of you are more in a masculine polarity. And emotions, sometimes you're able to access them, but they're hard to express. And so when you access them, but you don't allow the expression of them, it's like this volcano almost. It just stirs and it stirs and it stirs, but then there's this pressure that pushes it down. And so it's time for the expression of that in some way, whether that's talking and saying what your feelings are, or it's expressing the depth of you and the power of your emotions through artwork, or through action, or through doing, or through your job. So we're talking about love and work too. So a lot of times that emotion and the essence of you needs to come out through your work in order to help balance your relationship. Because too much of the energy is going towards the focus on your relationship, when you expressing yourself when it comes to work or purpose or reading cards on YouTube or whatever it is that's going to help balance the relationship, because the energy going towards that relieves the pressure and the focus and the comparing and just the overload of the emotions being expressed in the relationship. The emotions, and whether you're in relationship or not, it's also being focused on the connection. If you're hyper focused on the connection and not creating over here, you're actually hindering your relationship or your union coming into being by focusing too much on it. So let's talk about relationship and love, and let's talk about work at the same time too, because we need to bring those two into balance right now in order to bring the unions in. The unions are so important, and for us to be ourselves and in mission and in purposeful work that helps the world right now, especially now, we need our unions to help facilitate that. We need our purposeful work to help facilitate unions, and we need them. We need union in the world. We need union in the world. We need union in the world, not just, fairy tale relationships. It's not what we need. We need union, and when you bring your union in, it means that you've brought union in within yourself. And so if you're a divine feminine and you are consciously creating things in your life and creating your life and moving towards purposeful work and really taking the energy of love and devotion and divine connection and putting that into creative aspects and creative work and really putting your all into what it is that you're meant to be doing right now, you're balancing the masculine energy within you. That is masculine energy. And so as you do that and you let the feminine energy lead, and you lead by your intuition and your passion and your drive, and you lean into your gifts and you apply them, your feminine and your masculine are coming into union in that way. And before you know it, your masculine sneaks up here behind you and he's like, I see what you're doing over there. It's really fucking beautiful. And I love how you express yourself, because that's you. And I've been waiting to see you. You shining your light so bright right now. And I couldn't see you before, but now I can see you. And that's all I wanted to see. It's fucking amazing. You're beautiful. You're epic. I love you. He sneaks in and says all of those things, right? That felt really good. Hi, Epiphany. I haven't seen all of these messages. I was on a roll there, guys. If you have any questions, you can put them in the chat, and I'll try to scroll through there. If you want a comment, I do have super chat enabled down at the bottom. So if you hit the money sign and you just make a donation, your chat will, or your comment will come up so that I can see it on there and highlight it. If you guys want me to pull a couple of cards for you, I can do a couple of mini reads tonight. I do have a little bit of time. So for $22, if you guys hit the super chat and put in $22, I'll pull a couple of cards for you for either your work situation or your twin flame or divine connection, whatever you guys want. And otherwise, I'll just pull some cards for the collective here and we'll keep going. Hi, Brenda. Good to see you. Oh, hi, Jennifer. I love you too. I'm so glad you're here. I was just thinking about you today. I'm going to have to talk to you later. Hi, Karen. I love your 3 purple hearts. She always puts 3 purple hearts. All right, Brenda said, I just wish this twin flame journey wasn't so hard and confusing. I wish it was easier to understand and navigate. Me too. Okay, me too, believe me. But it's so worth it. And at the end of the day, you are your twin flame. And so you are coming into balance within yourself. And it feels really good. That feels really good to be able to be you and to express you. At the end of the day, I want to be able to express my twin flame energy for all to see. Okay, whether it's about my connection or it's not about my connection, it is about me. And so my person and I do our work together, and we work a lot of these things out, and we're able to use each other as a mirror. And for some people, that's really hard to do. That's why there is so much separation too, because it's so hard to do it in that way. And it takes a real toll on our relationship. But at the end of the day, I'm so lucky and so grateful to have that kind of mirror and that intuitive perspective on the other side as well. It has made me grow so much into the person that I am today. And it's not just that, but all the work that I do for myself. I mean, this connection drives me to be more and to expand into more and to understand it more. The reason I do so much of what I do on myself is to understand myself and how my twin flame journey applies and how I can make it a little bit easier and why it's so hard and why it's so, where does that come from inside of me? I really want to know these things and I want to expand and I want to make things better and I want to make things easier and I want to make things easier for you. So the exploration that we do in why this journey is so hard is so beneficial to other people around us and to the people on the journey that are coming after us. So just know that all of this hard work that you're doing on this journey is benefiting those twins that are a little bit further down the line and not quite as developed as you are. And those of us that are a little bit ahead or have been working on it a little bit longer or have expanded into other knowledge as well are here doing the work for you too. So as hard as it is for you, it's not quite as hard as it was for the person that expanded just before you or just before you or just before you. We're all doing it together at different levels, and just know that we're all doing this for each other. It's hard for all of us, but at the same time, it's really, really, really beautiful too. The things that the knowledge that I've come into and the different modalities that I've experimented with and the way that I connect with all of you guys and the way that I wouldn't be doing all of this without the twin flame journey. I wouldn't be able to connect with you without it. And so I can shift it around and really be grateful for it, regardless of the hardness of it. It just is so worth it when we can have moments like these Kairos moments where everything just kind of stands still and we're together and we are all in this same collective for the same reasons, and things do get easier. It does get easier. It does when we release holds and we release attachments and we find the places where those attachments have taken hold in the first place. We free ourselves little bits at a time, and the potential of that freedom is what drives me. That's what makes the hard a little bit easier for me. And the more I free myself, the more depth and connection and intimacy I experience in my relationship too. So that's why I'm dedicated to doing the work on myself and bringing more of me to the connection, because that's what brings it all together, and that's what anchors it all in. That's the point of the twin flame journey, is to anchor unconditional love for myself into this earthly body, into this earthly plane. And when I do that, it ripples out through my light body, and that unconditional love connects with all of those in my field too. And they feel the light of that, and they feel the connectivity of that. They feel the twin flame of that, the balance of masculine and feminine in that unconditional space, and they are affected by it just by being around me. Do they have to witness my relationship too in order to experience that? No, they just experience that through me, and it's not a result. It's not because of my relationship or my connection or my union. It's because of the work that I've done on myself throughout this journey. It's just that the relationship and the union and the connection with this person is a catalyst for so much growth for all of us, whether we're in union or not. It's really beautiful when we're able to look at it that way and connect with it in that space, right? Does that make sense for you guys? Who is this? Called to Serve. Thank you very much. Do you have a question, Called to Serve? And also, what is your name? I've seen you on here a couple of times, if you don't mind sharing it. I've seen you on here a couple of times, and I would love to know your name. Shut the fuck up. My twin flame's name is Lloyd. He is also English. I didn't know that your twin flame's name is Lloyd when I joined your channel. That's funny. That's no coincidence, Brenda. And I was just talking about all of this. Oh, wow. That was amazing. All right. Call to serve. Thank you so much. Yes, go over and join on the Hawk's Nest. God love you guys. Oh, Jennifer, yes, that's what I was going to talk to you about too. I can't wait to share more with you. All right, Linda. Linda, do you have a question? Linda, what is that video? That little boy says, look it, Linda, Linda, Linda. You don't listen, Linda. Oh, well, thank you for being here, Brenda. Yes, no, it's no coincidence at all. We don't have coincidences here. That's so funny. And the name Lloyd is not very common. I mean, it's more, it is more, I guess, in a British name, but it's funny because my uncle's name is Lloyd too. What's happening in the love department? Okay, of course. Okay, so we've got the Two of Coins, Two of Pentacles, and the Six of Cups. It came out more like this. This Six of Cups to me in this deck is different. It feels a lot different than a lot of the other decks. In some of the other ones, there's like a lot more flowers, and this one feels very orb-like. It feels very Merkaba, like past life connection. This feels like you're traveling from a past life into this one, and it's very intimate. It's very serene. It's very soft, really soft. And it's kids. There's kids in this. So the Two of Coins along with that, the Two of Pentacles or the Two of Coins is about balance. It's about finding a balance, balancing out a relationship that I don't know if you are already in a relationship or if this is one, it feels like coming your way. It feels like an energy of a past life, soulmate. And I don't know if you're on the twin flame journey or not either, but this feels like soulmate energy. There are so many people who are moving past the twin flame connection. The twin flame was meant to be, the person was meant to be a mirror and a catalyst and a guide for you to come into your own balanced twin flame energy. But in this lifetime, you were not meant to come into physical union with each other. It was meant to lead you and guide you to a soulmate energy, a divine partner. So our twin flames are not necessarily always going to be our divine partner. They are not always going to make the choice to partner with us on this journey and choose to follow that path and work with us. Sometimes they are meant to lead us to a soulmate who's supposed to be our divine partner. And it feels a little bit to me like that is kind of what's coming your way. And it feels very balanced. If you are more feminine energy, the way that I see these, they're not very unbalanced at all, but what they're showing me is the polarities, divine masculine and divine feminine. We all have both polarities within us. One is usually a little bit more dominant than the other one is. Sometimes they're very, very, one of them is very dominant and the other one is it's very imbalanced. But in this deck, these coins are pretty close together and you can see that they're joined by the infinity sign. It feels to me like if you are divine feminine energy, what I was talking about at the beginning of this, working on your creative aspect. Let me see what's on the bottom of the deck. Okay, I'm going to talk to you about that in a minute. Working on your work or your creative space, anything that is passionate and driven and create. I just keep hearing creative and intuitive. Facing that way and doing the work in that area. If you didn't hear me talking about that earlier, when this replays, go back and watch that too, because I think that this applies to you. You putting your energy and your focus on that instead of your focus on love and relationships and the longing for that, when you take the energy of that longing and you apply it in a passionate way to to something that creates movement, your person, this kind of past life soulmate, is going to come in from the back, and they are actually following the light that you're putting out as you're creating in this way, and they kind of knock on your door. It feels to me like it's possible that it's someone that you knew in your childhood, or it's totally past life, and so there's a familiarity as if you grew up together. And you meet them and they look very familiar. Maybe they look like someone that you grew up with or something like that. Or it's like the brother of someone that you knew when you were younger. There's some kind of past connection that it's either someone that you knew connected to someone that you knew, or it feels very familiar because it's this past life kind of energy. In order to get to that, though, this is a very powerful thing. This is like when they bring in the energy of like Merkaba coming in, this is you getting yourself to a state of really generating your light body, really understanding your own light body. And when you are able to do that and maintain and generate your light in that way, it's a very kind of expansive, enlightened kind of place to be. That's the kind of person that you're calling into your field. That's the kind of person that you're calling in. In order to get to that, on the bottom of the deck is the Five of Cups. So even though I'm reading for Call to Serve, this is going to apply to a bunch of you too. I feel like this is applying to at least two other people. That's what they're telling me. Two other people. This is on the bottom of the deck. So what's on the bottom? What's holding this whole thing up that you can't quite see? What's holding this up? What's holding it up? What's holding it back? What's stopping it from coming in? That's what I'm hearing. What's holding it up is sadness and releasing expectations. Releasing expectations of how you thought it was going to look, or who you thought it was going to be, or there is a little bit of regret. There's regret and guilt. There's guilt about something. There's guilt about something, like it feels sad to move on, or it feels like it's cheating because you're so connected to another person or something like that. But there's an energy of remorse and it's hard to move on without closure. That's what I hear. Not having closure to a different situation. That's part of what's holding it up, is not having closure. Okay. Does that all resonate for you, Linda? All right. Anybody else? Linda. Listen. You don't listen. Look it, Linda. Okay. All right, so I'm going to pull one of these cards for you too. Protected. You're safe and supported while you change your career. Linda, this one is for you too, but for other people as well. In order to find closure, in order to help move towards a new connection, a new soulmate connection, that's really going to be very powerful and soft and intimate, but really just glowing. Look at the way that's glowing. At the same time, you're safe and supported while you change your career. There's like this balancing act that's going on in a lot of different areas in our lives. And figuring out this insecurity issue that I was talking about in the beginning. We have to draw off of Archangel Michael. We have to draw off of our guides. We have to really lean into our support system and our people in order to move through these shifts and these changes. There's a lot of expectations for like what we believed mission to be and purposeful work and things like that. And some of us got into this work or reading, let's say you're a card reader or you're a healer or something like that. And a lot of people got into that work in order to understand their own journey. And they found that healing and helping other people was really helpful to themselves, but it was really fulfilling at the time too. But as we expand and as we grow and we understand more about ourselves, sometimes what we're being asked to do to apply who we've become is different than what we thought it was going to be. Like a healing career may not necessarily be what you're supposed to be doing right now. You're supposed to be taking that healing or that Reiki that you learned and applying it in a different way, like getting a job at, I don't know, I'm seeing like a supermarket or something like that. And you as a Reiki master, your Reiki hands, everything that you touch is I hear paved with gold, and that energy goes out to all of these other people, and you're like feeding other people with Reiki and healing and expansion and in like a really obscure way. There are so many people that are implanted in different places, and using the tools that they gained on their healing journey in order to be implanted in strategic positions in the matrix where they're meant to, where we can balance out the grid a little bit, if that makes sense for you guys. That was a little bit more in depth into the the way that the Lightworker grid is set up right now, but that applies for a lot of you. And for some of you, you will literally be changing your career, or the thing that you, the thing that you're focusing the main part of your attention. And the song I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston is on right now. And I got a message from Whitney Houston like a week and a half ago from her energy. And it said, don't be too eager to expand too quickly. Don't be too eager to, don't move too fast, really, is what she was saying, because too much exposure all at once is going to be too much for you and too much for the people around you. And it's actually going to bounce back at you and slow you down a little bit. So they're telling you to just take your time. And if having a healing career is what you are meant to do, but in the meantime, you are placed in one of these strategic positions and you have to go and get a job at a grocery store or whatever it is, there's purpose for that, because while your light expands and you are connecting with all of these other people or sending the energy out into the world in your strategic position where you are, it's the pace that needs to happen before you come back to the healing and then all of a sudden you're off to the races. It's like an important step in that process. So you're protected as you go out into the world and you get a normal job or whatever it is, if that's the case for you. Just know that you're protected while you shift gears, and it's a necessary step in your expansion. Okay? That was for somebody specifically. Hi, Misty. How are you? All right. I'm going to pull another one about work, jobs. Does anybody have a question about their work right now? Let's get together and feel all right. That's the song that's on right now. Thank you, Lynette. Thank you for being here. I'll talk to you soon. And if you're a moderator on here, Samara Soul Scribe, you don't have to, you don't have to, I mean, it's nice if you're up for it to welcome everybody and to comment, but really just keep an eye out for any trolls or people that come in that are not appropriate. Thank you for being here, Lynette. I forgot to remind you guys too that there is a ton of Reiki energy, Holy Fire Reiki energy present here. I was sending it just a little bit ahead of time. And as I say that, energy healing comes out. So if you resonate with that, it may be that it's something in the Holy Fire Reiki that I mentioned. There's Holy Fire Reiki energy and Violet Flame here. I was sending it ahead of time and doing a little bit of light language, sending it to the space. So if you're up for that, if you're willing to receive it, just set the intention that you want to receive that now, and you will be getting some of this really solar plexus clearing. You will be receiving solar plexus balancing in your chakras. Your natural energy healing abilities are an important part of your life purpose. And that's another thing that they want me to point out too. So my natural energy healing abilities not only come through my Reiki hands and my light language and all of that, but through my voice, So there is energy healing happening through my voice. There are codes and there is Reiki. My voice is Reiki. And so for a lot of you expressing yourself and needing to speak or needing to connect with others or needing to talk or read cards or the verbal expression that you feel called to do. I'm a Gemini, and so, we're communicators and talkers, but that's part of my purpose too, is to pass on healing and energy work through my voice. So for some people, it's action, it's movement, it's, for Lloyd, it's less talking and more just doing or just being. And for me, a lot of times it's necessary for me to talk in order to transmute and process through things. There's so much healing in that kind of transmutation process. For some of you, it's the same thing, okay? So energy healing is... it's applied in many different ways. It's not just, doing Reiki or putting your hands on somebody else or sending energy to somebody else. You're sending it in a lot of different ways. So if you have a career or a job where you talk to people a lot, just know that the things that you're saying and the way that you're saying them can be very energetically healing for those around you. So be careful of your words and your tone and your expression and the way that things come out. Okay? Oh, Brenda, these syncs just never stop, huh? My twin is also a Gemini. So Lloyd is Gemini rising. So I'm a Gemini sun, he's a Gemini rising. Our signs are actually mirrors to each other. So my sun, moon rising is Gemini, Libra, Capricorn. His is Capricorn, Libra, Gemini. So they're flip-flopped. And I know when it comes to charts, there's a whole big difference in that, and so many other things apply. But the mirror of our signs in that way is really interesting to me. All right, I'm gonna pull one more card in here. Where is that deck? Power of Surrender. One heart. Let's get together and feel all right. 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 Okay. Some of you are really needing to connect with people in person. To connect with people, like in real life, needing to connect with people. All right, what is something that we're needing to surrender or surrender to right now in order to anchor these energies that we've been talking about tonight? Hi, Lewis. Thank you. Come on. There's a little bit of resistance. There's a little bit of resistance to surrender. There's a little bit of fear in what it is that we need to surrender. There's like this defensiveness, like, I don't want to feel like I'm doing something wrong. It's again, that insecurity of someone telling me that I'm doing something wrong. That's the energy that there's like this resistance there a little bit. This is a good thing. This is a positive thing. This is something that you've been asking for that's going to help us to shift. And when I opened my eyes, I just looked over and I have this card sitting here that is a card that the card reader pulled for me and gave to me, and it says, I surrender it all. So maybe that's what we need to surrender. We need to surrender all of it right now. We just really need to give it. We just need to give it up. We just need to give up the struggle. We need to give up the need to know and the doing it ourselves. We need to ask for help, and we need to surrender it to the universe and our inner knowing. Our inner knowing, the things that we want for ourselves that we have been manifesting. We just need to get into the energy of receiving. We need to receive. We need to surrender to receiving. That's what I hear. Surrender it all. All right. Just one card, please. Thank you. Surrender your fear of intimacy. You're ready to let love in. That's what I was just saying, receiving. Compassionately identify and begin to release any patterns that stop you from opening your heart. There are a lot of protective mechanisms around our heart that keep us from receiving, and those insecurities that I'm talking about, not fitting in with others, not being accepted by our person, being judged by our person, or whatever it is. It keeps this armor around our hearts, and it stops us from being fully us and from connecting with ourselves, but also connecting with the world around us. We have just as much of a fear of being rejected as we do being fully accepted for who we are, because that's a very intimate, very deep space. So when we're talking about twin flames and we're talking about union, it is not easy for people. Some of the hardest struggle is receiving everything we asked for, and allowing really deep, connective, intimate love to show us who we really are, to show us the things, the masks that we have on. Sometimes our twin shows up and we see all the things about us that are not authentic to who we really are. And we get defensive and we feel insecure. We feel like, why don't they like that? Well, that's not really me, actually. I do those things because friends growing up always did those things, but it always made me feel really weird. And I don't necessarily identify with that, but the people around me accept me because of some things like that. But I surrounded myself with those people because of that program that I had and that belief system that I had, that I needed to be that way. And so when we start to accept ourselves, the world around us shifts and adapts to that vibration in us. And then 10-10 on my 10 people, 10 likes right now. 10-10. So there's a completion of that cycle happening. And when our twin comes in, or even when they get closer to our field, other people may start coming in and mirroring those things in us that need to be stripped away and removed, that aren't us. It's not that we need to compare ourselves to other people anymore, except in a way that I have all these people around me and I don't resonate with them. So when you compare yourself to the people around you, I don't resonate with that person, though. I don't resonate with them anymore. I used to, but I don't anymore, because the used to you is the one that was created to fit in with that culture. But now the culture that you're trying to fit in with are the ones who really accept you for you. That's intimacy. And so these people, and especially our twin, comes in to mirror those things that are not you. And we are defensive to those things a little bit sometimes. It's an intimacy, though, that is going to mirror the things. It's in order to bring out you, in order to extract you. There's so much purpose to that. It needs to happen. Your twin is there to extract the depth of you, the real you. And it is not easy to get to the real you when you have this layered over version of you that's accepted and fits in and doesn't stand out, but also doesn't feel at home and doesn't feel comfortable and doesn't want to live that life anymore, wants to live the life of being free. Okay, so you guys are there to free each other into the space of real love and acceptance and divinity and and validation, but you have to get there within yourself. You have to allow yourself that mirror. You have to allow yourself the mirror of a lot of other people. And the things that stand out to you, bring that back inside. Bring that back inside. Anything that triggers you, anything that you see in other people, anything that you see in your twin that you don't like, or that you judge, or that you find as something that's holding them back, or whatever it is, bring that back into yourself and grow and peel away that layer of you in order to bring them closer to you and in order to bring you closer to you. Okay? All right, guys, that's really beautiful. All right, like I said, I recorded a couple of videos right before this, and those are in the process of uploading right now. So keep an eye out for those. If you have not liked this video, please go over and just hit like. Even if you didn't like it, hit the like button anyway for me. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, hit subscribe, hit notification. I do have some more videos that are scheduled to come out on Monday as well. So if you hit the notification bell, it's going to tell you when I have new videos coming out. And yeah, there's going to be some more stuff coming up soon. If you guys want a private reading, if you want me to either recorded reading, or if you want to do a one-on-one session, if you want to draw out more of that authentic self and help you to lean more into the energy of your union and also your purpose work and make some real shifts in your life right now, go over and book a session with me. I'm going to England on Monday for 2 weeks, so I have very little availability for the next 2 weeks, only Wednesday and Thursday next week, and those days are going to book up pretty quickly. So if you're looking for something right now, go over and book one of those. Otherwise, you just wait until I come back. You can book something now, though. It's all my availability is updated through the end of October. Okay? All right, guys. I love you very much. Thank you for being here, and talk to you guys soon.